Alright, let's go over absolute value equations. So first let's go over absolute value. So basically, what absolute value of a number is that distance from 0. So more simply, the absolute value of the number is going to be that number, but it's always going to be positive. So the absolute value of 5 is 5. And also the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So no matter what we have in here, it's going to become positive. Unless, of course, it's 0, then that's going to be 0, which is neither positive nor negative. But let's forget about that for a second. So the absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So if we had the absolute value of x, and so that equals 5, well, then there are two possible values for what x could be. Because if x is 5, it works, and if x is negative 5, it also works. So in this case, we have two equations, or two answers here. X could be 5, or x could be negative 5. Alright, so now based on the same concept, if we had the absolute value of x plus 8 is 5, we have two equations. Because this could be 5 and it'll work out, or this could actually be negative 5 and it'll work out. So we have that x plus 8 could equal 5, and x plus 8 could equal negative 5. Alright, so now solving this, we just have two equations, so minus 8, minus 8. We have that x could equal 5 minus 8, which is negative 3, or minus 8, minus 8. We have that x could equal negative 13. And if we try this, we'll see that both cases work. So if we try negative 3, so absolute value of negative 3 plus 8, and negative 3 plus 8 is 5, so absolute value of 5, and that comes out to be 5. Let's try negative 13. Absolute value of negative 13 plus 8. This would give us the absolute value of negative 5, which of course also equals 5. Alright, so we know that if we have an absolute value equation, we're going to have two different equations from that. So let's take a look at another one. Absolute value of x plus 9 plus 3 equals 12. Okay, before we get our two equations, we have to have the absolute value portion by itself. So we have to get rid of this negative 3. Or get rid of the positive 3 by doing minus 3. So now we have the absolute value of x plus 9 equals 9. So from here, we get our two equations. Either x plus 9 equals 9, or x plus 9 equals negative 9. So now solving, minus 9, minus 9. X could be 0. Minus 9, minus 9. X could equal negative 18. Okay, another key point here is that if we had an equation such as this, the absolute value of x plus 6 is negative 7, this is going to have no solutions. Because the absolute value of anything is going to be either 0 or positive. So it's impossible to have a value for x here that's going to end up giving us a negative answer. So if the absolute value of something equals a negative number, it has no solutions. Let's look at one more example. So 3 times the absolute value of x plus 5 plus 4 is 25. In order to solve this, we have to get this by itself, the absolute value of x plus 5. So just like if this was a variable, we're going to get this by itself by first subtracting the 4. So we have 3 times the absolute value of x plus 5 equals 21. Alright, now the next step to get this by itself is divide by 3. Divide by 3. So the absolute value of x plus 5 is 7. Now we're going to get our two equations, where x plus 5 equals 7, and x plus 5 could equal negative 7. And solve these individually. So minus 5 minus 5, x could be 2. Minus 5 minus 5, x could equal negative 12. So there are our two solutions.